Hey, what's good? I Ask AI is back with another video. This one is called I Let AI and Grok, which is Twitter or X or basically Elon's AI, right? So this video, I let AI and Grok rate Elon Musk's DOGE. So it'll be interesting because Elon has something to say with how Grok operates. So it'll be interesting to see how his AI rates him and his actions as the leader of DOGE. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be working on some warm-up sketches. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes I think would look good on you. Let's go. Let's see what I ask AI. Well, actually, ChatGPT and Grok. So it'll be nice to see. A lot of times these guys will start a video and it's, it comes out firing, like hating on Trump and stuff like that. My stance is, again, what he does is not necessarily all the way bad. How he does it and the carelessness in which he goes about doing things, and the way he likes to brag and be brash and stuff. He likes other people to struggle. He likes to push his weight around. We'll see how it works out. We'll see if the government, we'll see if the United States likes to get down like this for the rest of the time. And I'm starting to notice a lot of these politicians dropping F-bombs all wild. So it seems like there's a change happening, like it or not. Whether you support the left, whether you support the right, it does not matter. One thing that this man has been doing is overturning or flipping over the game board, so to speak. If you're playing a game and this dude that doesn't like to lose, he doesn't like to apologize, he likes to take advantage of people, he likes to throw his weight around. When he's done playing the game how you want to play it, now it's time to play the game how he wants to play it. And it'll be interesting to see how many of these, independent thinkers and how many of these pro-business and all that stuff is coming to haunt you guys. So let's see what I Ask AI has to say about the matter.
What the hell has the Department of Government Efficiency even done so far? I mean, seriously, has Elon Musk done anything besides posting dumb tweets? So today I thought it was time that we rate how productive the Department of Government Efficiency has really been. But to keep it fair and unbiased and straight and to the point, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask ChatGPT and Elon Musk's AI, Grok, the exact same questions so they can tell us what Elon Musk and DOGE have actually achieved so far. And then both AIs will rate the department's work from 0 to 10. Which AI is going to rate it higher, or will they both say the same thing? Be sure to watch until the end to find out the answer. Alright, so ChatGPT needs to be clear, straightforward, fully unbiased, no left or right leaning takes, no sugarcoating, no fluff, none of that. First off, I just want to figure out how DOGE is actually supposed to work, like what their exact responsibilities are, their goals, and so on. And once we get that straight, I'll ask what they've actually achieved so far. Alright, here we go.
And to be clear, we had inspector generals doing this job.
And here's the first answer. DOGE should be cutting waste, improving efficiency, and making sure the government isn't bleeding money on nonsense. Their job is to find useless programs, redundant positions, and outdated processes, then either fix or eliminate them. They should be slashing bureaucratic bloat, not just throwing out numbers and pretending they saved money when they didn't. If something isn't working, they should shut it down. No half measures, no excuses. They should also be holding agencies accountable.
Fair enough.
If a department is sitting on piles of unspent cash or running pointless projects, DOGE should expose it and force change. If a government contract is a joke, it should be regenerated or canceled. But that requires real audits, not just press releases claiming victory when nothing actually changed.
And the Department of Defense hasn't passed an audit in, almost 10 years, they're saying?
They need to dig deep. Not just target easy political wins that make headlines, but don't fix the root issues. They should be making government work better, not just smaller. If they're cutting positions or funding, it better be because the work is unnecessary, not just for the sake of optics. Laying off employees while keeping inefficient systems in place is just a lazy way to claim progress. They should be streamlining processes with tech, automation, and modern tools, but only where it makes sense. Throwing new technology at problems without a plan creates more mess than it solves. Most importantly, DOGE needs to be brutally honest about results. No cherry picking, no overhyped numbers, no fake success stories. If they screw up, they should admit it and fix it. If they actually save money, it should be real savings, not projected nonsense that falls apart when you check the details. Their role isn't to be a political tool, it's to make sure the government runs efficiently, effectively, and without wasting taxpayer dollars. Anything less is just another useless
department. I believe literally everyone wants to see this.
Getting nothing done.
I think literally everyone wants to see this.
All right, now I got it. I don't think we need to ask Grok this question.
And more importantly, so they have no problem taking your tax money. They have no problem doing all of that. But then when you go to ask for receipts and you want to see and make sure that folks aren't taking advantage and that there's no, government waste and all that stuff. One of the good things that should be coming out of this whole situation is we're going to learn that we don't need as many taxes as we are expected to pay. And so instead of paying, 33% of your paycheck, it'd be really cool to only do like 10, 15. They're taking money from you because, let's be honest, rich people pay as little taxes, and we got someone in office who's been bragging about not paying taxes and being smart enough to not pay taxes. So that means the working class has to pay the taxes. So if we can run government a little more efficiently, our taxes should go down. You would think.
So let's just get to the point. Now I want to ask ChatGPT to tell me exactly what Elon Musk and DOGE have done since they began their work. And here's the answer. Elon Musk and DOGE have spent the last 2 months swinging an axe at the federal government without much thought about what happens after the cuts. The whole thing looks more like a tech CEO's fantasy of fixing bureaucracy than an actual functional reform effort. It's been aggressive, chaotic, and in some cases, straight up illegal. First, they tried to gut U.S. aid. Whether you love or hate foreign aid, shutting down a massive government agency overnight isn't how things work. A judge immediately stepped in and shut it down because, shocker, you can't just erase federal institutions on a whim. Then came the mass firings. Around 25,000 federal workers were kicked out.
We need to remember there have been a large amount of very smart people that have gone in and out of this government. There's a lot of things that are happening because someone has crossed that bridge before. It's incredibly careless to let one guy with a bunch of wild ass ideas run roughshod all over the entire government. It's crazy that people think that this is okay. There are rules in place because we have been here before. There are rules in place to safeguard from people doing a hostile takeover of the government. And we have someone here who thinks that they know better than the majority of Americans, if not all. This dude, he's just wild. Well, not just one. Like this small group of bandits is in here doing a wild, wild thing. And there's a lot of smart people that have set all this stuff up. Do we need to clean house? Sure. Do we need to set the house on fire just to say we cleaned it? Not really. But here we are.
For some nonsense idea, they were dead weight. The problem? Many of them were essential employees, and agencies were forced to either bring them back or scramble to replace them. This isn't efficiency, it's a PR stunt disguised as cost-cutting.
Exactly.
Musk also pulled his classic move of inserting his own business interests into government operations.
Obviously.
He pushed for Starlink Internet at the White House, raising obvious conflict of interest concerns. What's next? Tesla-branded Air Force One? Government contracts handed to SpaceX because it's the most innovative option? It's the kind of thing that would have people screaming about corruption.
You're starting to see why they went through and they got rid of the inspector generals. You're starting to see why they took a lot of these government safeguards out, because all of this is happening. They made an order for I don't know how many armor reinforced Tesla Cybertrucks, SpaceX flipping rockets in space and blowing them up. Let's be real, and blowing them up. And what else? There's a lot of money that Elon gets from the government, and it's interesting how they're doing away with all the poor people stuff, but they're doing away with the safeguard for all the rich people stuff. And there's a bunch of you guys out there just convinced that a rich billionaire is going to do the best thing for you. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. All the rich people I talk to, and trust me, I talk to rich people on a lot. It's not that they don't care about you, is that you're not their concern. They have other things. They have families, they have jobs, they have bank accounts to look after, all that stuff. It's not that they don't like you, it's that out of sight, out of mind. You don't mean much to them. They got bigger fish to fry. So that's why we need government, to make sure that you guys don't go hungry, especially when you're old and Social Security is not there. You guys are going to be struggling. You think today with all these tariffs and stuff, wait till later when there's no money. And they got it all. And you're hungry. There's a lot of them that are doing the doomsday prepping and all that stuff. They got doomsday prepping to worry about. They ain't worried about you.
Someone else did it. Then there was the push to get access to federal payment systems. That's an insane level of overreach. The fact that a judge had to step in to block it tells you everything. Musk might know how to run a business, but he doesn't understand or doesn't care about how government security and financial systems work. On top of that, they started slashing office leases like a hedge fund, trying to boost quarterly profits. The problem is, government offices aren't just sitting empty for fun. Some of these spaces are necessary for operations, and canceling leases without a plan just causes chaos. Cutting costs isn't impressive if you're also cutting the ability to do the job. The bottom line, DOGE under
breaking
Musk
something
is a disaster.
for just
There's a difference between
breaking something just for the sake of breaking something doesn't mean that you're saving money.
Right now, it's mostly
you're going to end up paying money on the back end of all of these goofy ass, non-thought out decisions.
Blows up in their faces.
Yep, there. Computer told you.
All right, well, that was tough. But now it's Grok's turn to answer the same question. But first, I needed to gather all the info. I don't really know if it works that way here, but let's try it out anyway. So now let's paste the question and find out the answer, and here it is. Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, kicked off on January 20th, 2025 after Trump signed an executive order. Since then, they've been slashing and burning through the federal government like a chainsaw through butter. They've cut over $1 billion in spending, mostly by axing diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI contracts, and terminating research grants like the $900 million chopped from the Department of Education's Institute of Education Sciences.
This part here really drives me crazy because one thing that, well, there's a couple things that people know. One thing is that there's a lot of misused money in the government. And the other one is that it's a two-tiered, probably three-tiered justice system. One is for the rich, two is for the whites, and three is for the non-whites. So taking out programs like DEI and stuff like that, if you are a person of color, you're going to find out the hard way. You're going to find out the hard way. I apply for jobs, and I used to qualify for jobs that, smart people would have. Silicon Valley, you can't be no joke. You have to know what you're talking about. And all of a sudden, I got older, and instead of, I got older and way more experienced. And even then, I ended up not qualifying for jobs, and I'm older, a little browner, and all this stuff. And I look around and I see people. Well, up to not too long ago, I saw people doing good and having a good time and making their money and all that stuff. And now, with AI and all this other stuff like imported workers and stuff like that, you guys are going to start feeling the pinch here soon. Yep. Let's see how it plays out.
That killed off 89 studies on kids' learning and school safety. Gone, no debate. They've shut down entire agencies or crippled them. The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, got gutted, staff furloughed, website trashed, overseas work halted. Musk bragged on X about feeding it into a wood chipper. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, is another casualty. Its main site's down, employees told to stop working, and Musk posted RIP CFPD. No subtlety there. Musk's team has muscled into at least 15 federal agencies, grabbing access to unclassified data systems, payment networks, and personnel records. They've taken over the Treasury's payment system, which handles $6 trillion yearly, and tried to block foreign aid payments, though career staff pushed back until Trump replaced them. At the Office of Personnel Management, or OPM, they've offered 77,000 federal workers buyouts to quit, echoing Musk's Twitter layoffs. NOAA's diversity programs got torched after they dug through its computers. They've slashed $56 million in consulting contracts and ended leases for buildings they call underused. The Department of Transportation handed Musk FAA tech access for safety upgrades.
See this stuff here? Like if you have a big-ass building, and again, I have no idea what buildings, where, blah, 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 blah. I have no idea. But if there's a big-ass building and you have two other government entities in a completely different building, and you can save money by taking both of those people and putting them in the same building, then that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world. But like, again, it's not what they're doing, it's how they're doing it. When they bust in and they go and get fake cops and they're lock workers out of their buildings and stuff like that, it's coming off as a hostile takeover, which is a coup. Whether you do a hostile takeover in corporate America, that's basically a coup in government speak.
Whatever that means, CMS, part of Health and Human Services, is collaborating with DOGE, with Musk claiming on X it's a hub for big money fraud. No hard proof, just his word. Staff-wise, DOGE has got about 100 people, mostly young techies with no government experience, ex-Tesla, SpaceX, and ex-AI folks. Musk wants to double that to 200. They're in nearly every agency, moving
and
fast.
Pay attention. Pay attention to how supposedly all of these government agencies they're corrupt and they're all busted up and they're not working right. But Elon is injecting his people in there. And he wants to rebuild this stuff. And again, if you think that we should be working as that that the government should be working as a corporation, I don't think you've worked at many corporations. Corporations aren't in the business to make things efficient. They're in the business of making things cheap. So you might be qualifying for jobs and all that stuff. You're not going to qualify anymore because you're expensive. All of this stuff, you have to keep in mind, all of this stuff, a government, the outcome of a government should not be how much money they're making or even how much saving, sure, but eventually saving. It needs to be efficient. The focus needs to be efficient. We have the government workers and we make sure that they have all the tools that they need to be successful. And then we optimize the tools. The people just continue to work with the tools that are continuously being optimized. But going around and chopping things, how many times have we been in, well, let me ask you this. How many times have you been in a corporation and they've gone through layoffs and all this stuff and one person ends up doing the job of three? If you haven't been there, you've heard of someone doing that. So that's what I'm saying is like, it's two different types of entities. You can run a corporation however the hell you want, because at the end of the day, the focus is money. Government, the focus is not money. Government should be the outcome of the services available. How can we help education? How can we help our population change the culture so we do understand more about business, so we do understand how to leverage relationships with China and all of the other manufacturing hubs? It's not that difficult, y'all.
And pissing off unions and Democrats. Lawsuits are piling up. Unions want to block data access. States are suing over privacy breaches, and critics say it's unconstitutional. Courts have stopped some moves, but Musk keeps going, claiming the government's already illegal. Transparency's a joke. Musk promised all actions online, but details are thin. Savings claims, like $1 billion, are vague, and 40%...
And I've been getting into conversations on the internet. People are like, just go to DOGE.com or whatever the hell the website is. And he's telling you in the meetings, we kind of missed that one. That wasn't all the way. We fired them, but then we had to get everyone back. Like, is that efficient? Is that efficient? Everyone stop working on everything that you've been doing for years and years and years. This new guy showed up and he's going to tear everything down and then make it worse. From what I understand, it's not that cool to work at Tesla. It's not that cool to work at Twitter. It's not that cool to work at... SpaceX would be dope as shit to work at, but... not if they have a bunch of HR violations. He gets in trouble for HR violations at Tesla. He gets in trouble for asking too much. And of course you're going to go get a 19-year-old because a 19-year-old doesn't have shit to live for. That 19-year-old doesn't have a family to go to, doesn't have kids to watch out after. If that 19-year-old had a kid at home, you think he'd be over here harassing and doing all kinds of dumb shit? His wife would be like, nah, bitch, get over here. I need you to help raise this dumbass kid. And he's stupid because there's no education.
Cut contracts reportedly didn't save a dime. He's admitted the $2 trillion cut he hyped as bullshit, now says maybe $1 trillion if lucky. It's a chaotic power grab, legal or not, and he's got Trump's blessing to keep swinging. That's the raw deal as of March 19th, 2025.
And if you guys don't think that they had that conversation before this boy
All right, well, looks like Grok
elected.
isn't going easy on Musk. What a detailed and tough breakdown.
How are you going to spend that many millions on getting this guy
ChatGPT's
elected,
or Grok's.
and then you're not going to get it on the back end. You're not going to get your points on the back end.
And Elon Musk's effectiveness. But before we see their decisions, go ahead and hit that like button right now if you're enjoying this video, and don't forget to subscribe, because if you haven't yet, now's the absolute best time to do it. Oh, and by the way, if you want more on Elon Musk, I've got a whole video where ChatGPT breaks down his relationship with Donald
thanks,
Trump,
sir. I think I'm good on Elon Musk.
Breakup. This one has a lot of spot-on takes, so be sure to check it out after we're done here. All right, thanks so much, and now let's find out the scores.
He's not a cheesehead, he's a waterhead.
So now it's time to find out ChatGPT's final thoughts on Elon Musk's DOGE effectiveness and what score from 0 to 10 it gives it.
Half a point.
Musk ran DOGE like a reckless experiment, slashing staff, pushing his own business interests, and overreaching into government finances. The USA shutdown blocked as unconstitutional. Mass firings, a disaster. Starlink at the White House, a conflict of interest. Payment system access, a legal overreach. He had a chance to make real reforms.
And I continue to hear people talking about, oh, Elon is going to save the day. Oh, Trump is going to save the day. How are you going to fix corrupt government by being corrupt?
Treated government like a startup, breaking more than he fixed.
Coward.
Final score, 2 out of 10. The 2 points are for shaking things up and proving that some agencies are bloated, but execution matters. And Musk, he failed 100%. Spectacularly at execution. Okay, 2 out of 10 from ChatGPT. Tell me in the comments if you think this score is fair or not. But now we'll switch to Grok and find out what score Elon Musk will get from his own AI. Elon Musk and DOGE are a wrecking ball, effective at smashing stuff, not building anything coherent. They've cut over $1 billion fast, gutted agencies, and forced chaos into a bloated system. But it's sloppy as hell. 40% of cuts didn't save money, the $2 trillion goal's a fantasy, and lawsuits are clogging it up. Musk's a bulldozer, not a surgeon. He's breaking rules and pissing people off, but results are murky beyond the headlines. Short-term disruption? Sure. Long-term efficiency? Doubtful. Too much collateral damage and no clear plan. I'd score it a 4 out of 10. Loud impact, questionable substance. Well, there you have it. 2 out of 10 from ChatGPT and 4 out of 10 from Elon's AI Grok. But for the final thoughts, I think it's funny that we're not even talking about anything like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I mean, it's objectively bad.
It's
and
trash out of trash.
Be good.
Yep. So there you have it. AI breaks down DOGE. And again, I like the sentiment. I like that they're trying to make things efficient. I have so many stories of having to deal with the government and it being incredibly slow and oh my God and everything. So I understand the sentiment behind trying to make things more efficient, but instead of firing people, take a look at what they're doing and then give them the tools to go do their job. You know, it's not that tough. You can't just go through and bully yourself through things like this, and that's all they're doing. They're being bullies. They're the face of whatever movement this is, and I think that this movement is horseshit. I think we could be way better at figuring out efficiency and furthering the ability to see where we're spending this money, and even doing something as voting to see if we want to do some of these dumbass things. Like, this is the kind of stuff that we need to get to. Adding efficiency to the process, to the voting process, to everything. The capabilities are there. We have private companies doing all kinds of magical things. Those private companies, come to find out, are funded by the government. So I don't understand why we're letting private companies take money from the government to do all kinds of really cool, efficient things. And oh my God, look at, we're flipping rockets, and look at, we're inventing microwaves. Yes, bitch, the government invented microwaves. We have all of this capability, but we don't turn and make the government efficient, the thing that holds everyone down, right? If individual people are struggling, the government helps. If whole ass corporations and banks and entire financial markets are crashing, the government helps. So how is it that you think that the government is shitty? It's shitty when it's helping poor people, but when it helps rich people, oh my God, there's nothing better. This is why education is so important. You need to be able to learn and research and figure out who's telling you lies. Like Elon is over here saying, oh yeah, we just fixed $2 trillion of spending, and it's horseshit. It's all lies. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with each and every one of your friends. And if you want to come hang out with me and watch videos while I work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button and then change the little bell icon so it says all. That way, every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to Coconut Justice to get you some dope gear. And with that, I'm out.